Water, water everywhere and not a drop to drink. Water, water everywhere and all the boards did shrink. Terror silences your experience with a warning, so you whisper when you should not have to. Let's just pop that there. Just remember. No one hears your quiet voice because you've thought about it and thought about it 50 times in a single minute. But the idea of consequences turns your guts to water, and always consequences. If you tell your story, it's as though the listener is denied ears or speaks in some language not of a mutual culture. When they do try to comprehend words of what was done to you and ask why you didn't run, didn't fight, can you see the emptiness in their eyes? People can't hear what can't be understood. And someone only really understands when experiencing violation for themselves. You're very wise to comprehend what you see and to have done what was necessary, knowing it is a back door, the only one you had, the only escape from living with what was done. People don't listen. They don't. Or is it just too overwhelming to know because they then know also that not one person can claim to be truly safe? Not them, not their family, not their mother. You're looked at as if you are a stranger. What you are saying must be about somebody else, is what they think matters. They've been told that their words matter. They were told they matter. You were also told you matter, but no one explained that it's conditional. Some untaught rule, an unwritten experience law. So who's that? Who's outside, knocking at my chamber door? I'm sure I saw the raven blink, with throats on slate, with black lips baked. We could not laugh nor wail. Through utter drought all dumb we stood. I bit my arm, I sucked the blood, I cried, a sail, a sail. Those stairs around the spiral wall are dented deep with prisoners who said what you say. Where shackled ankles led to the gallows cell, and they told you without words that a winding sheet, a bucket of lime, and a pit of shame is your confession's destination. And manacles of iron that blunt memory with deceit and land you instead in a sea of human monsters, amid sharks that still have fins. A field of small white flowers stripping life down to the core, white flowers killing millions. Your voice drowned out, your mother's curse. But what curse is that, they say again? If they hear you, there are consequences, said the raven at my door. And every tongue through utter drought was withered at the root. We could not speak no more than if we had been choked with soot. Huh. Again, you bought it all, that life was best when death was done and dusted, but they lied. And now you have no choice but to remember it's late December and drought defies the sentiment that snow will surely come. Did I have a voice this time last year, or was I that fucking dumb? Because I know there should be snow, so I lift the latch and hear that call. The raven's curse has come because I open up the door. So many men so beautiful, and they all dead did lie, and 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. Living is a paradox of lies and love, waiting for the something, burning hope in ribboned packages that will take a memory to break the spell and set the listener free. To hear you tell of what befell shatters false security. It never was a childhood thing, this lie once told to me. A human taken, wrecked, discarded, in a moral monopoly. So now you wait, just like predation, to tell a story that you wish had died instead of everything you thought you'd be. That drowned in the undertow of such a pretty sea. That blew apart that fallacy when words of trust, conditional, ended in a voiceless fail. Be careful, they think. I'm like that, it's their fault. They took the breeze, they raised the sail, when all the while the raven whispered in that gentle look, a little lacking in clear detail. Beyond the shadow of the ship I watched the water snakes. They moved in tracks of shining white, and when they reared, the elfish light fell off in hoary flakes. A people sleep and are betrayed and wake to desolation, and only the raven hears. His wizened mouth warns of coming storms upon the back of tragedy. Blue-black his wings, like bruised things, wet with all your unspoken feral fears when you could not run when the fists rained down, until dignity was rot and blight. And you hid the beast. That hulking thing that said, this stuff is meant to feed the hunger. When no one remembers who they once were, and now the slave ship's going under. That raven is a sorcerer of the darkness of tonight. It knows it can't outlive its fate until the crown can crow no longer. In the tower cages, helpless, no escape until some moment before the dying of the light. But destiny demands her arms, like her story that is twisted. Witches in the aftermath of Christmas. She is pregnant with the silence of a tale I should remember of some bitter cold December. And I am doomed to tell the one that's happy ever after. Just go, they snarl, go quickly, and don't you slam my fucking door, because this should not be just 1 degree. Ice heavy on the moor. It's summer. Suck it up. Don't talk about before. But canisters of snorted snow have not enabled us to know for sure, because the raven's broken down my door and whispers more and more and more, a poetic litany, an order from the rafters, from the prow, an endless windless sea reminding us, be sure, be sure. Knowing some of us are doomed to repeat, it can't possibly be true. Nevermore, nevermore, nevermore. Do what you're told, don't answer back, or you'll end up on the street. I don't want to hear what you say to me or what was done to you. All in a hot and copper sky. The bloody sun at noon, right up above the mast, did stand no bigger than the moon. Day after day, day after day, we stuck, nor breath nor motion, as idle as a painted ship upon some painted ocean. Water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. So the raven asked 2 questions before blacking out the night with flight. We do what we do because we've been assured it is safe, and no one warned of consequences. Why? But then why did no one listen? I had a woman this week for a tarot reading. She was 83 years old. She'd been married all of her adult life to the same man. And 9 years ago he developed cancer, and she nursed him all through that time. And then he died. And then somebody read the will. And at 83 she looked at me and she said, the house, the money in the bank, the superannuation, the car, everything I own, everything I've done, it's all going to the nephew. And she looked at me because she didn't understand. And she said, what do I do now? She said, I'm too old to live on the street.